We're going to start the regular meeting here of the City Council. Would you all please rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have the roll call.
Walton? Here. Donato?
Here.
Matei?
Here.
Miles? Here. Velasquez? Here. Shoot.
Here. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the special meeting of February 5th, 2013, regular meeting of February 5th, 2013, and special meeting of February 8th, 2013. Does anyone have any questions on any of the meetings and agendas that are on there?
I have no issues. I move for approval of the special meeting, the minutes of the special meeting of February 5th, 2013, regular meeting of February 5th, 2013, and special meeting of February 8th, 2013.
Second. Roll call.
Walton?
Yes.
Donato?
Yes.
Matei?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Velasquez?
Yes.
Shoot.
Yes. Okay, on item number 3, we have petitions or communications, oral or written. And we have 2 people that are signed up to the council tonight. Mr. Gabelson. We, our policy is we usually have 3 minutes, but we can afford to let you have an extra minute or so. Because we try to keep it where we can because of the regular meeting. Now, if you want to get on the agenda and discuss more further, then that would be fine.
Completely understood. I'll try to keep
Okay,
it
that's
3
fine.
minutes or less.
Yeah, we're not chasing out, that's kind of what we try to keep it that way.
Understood. And I want to start by saying thank you so much for the opportunity to come up here and the opportunity to address you all and to provide information and perspective about several recently raised issues. I apologize. My name is Carl Gabrielson. I'm with Mount St. Raphael Hospital and the Trinidad Area Health Association Board of Directors. We have been criticized in the press recently and at your work session. Today I went to the county commissioners and addressed them and tried to explain some issues. We were criticized once again in the press for not addressing issues specifically. So I'd like to address issues and would be happy to answer any questions you may have at any time, whether it be tonight or any time in the future. Councilmember Miles, you made a statement at the retreat that people were angered by recent reports of huge deficits, bloated salaries, and questioned where the hospital was getting all the money to pay for judgments against it in several recent lawsuits. The hospital did run a deficit last year. As a matter of fact, we had losses the previous 3 years. And over those 3 years, we provided $7.5 million in charity care. $7,547,675 to be exact. And over $22 million in write-offs, including bad debts, discounted care, and charity care over those same 3-year period. By charity care, I mean providing health care to those in the community that can't afford to pay for it, but still need our help. So we helped. Last year alone, $2,744,634 in charity care, $8,166,532 in write-offs, all without any tax support. Not one dime from the City of Trinidad or Los Animas County. In our 124 years of service to this community, we have not received $1 in tax support, ever. Mount St. Raphael is one of 2 hospitals out of 46 critical access hospitals in the state of Colorado that does not have tax support. You also made a statement about bloated salaries. Yes, physicians are well paid.
Am I allowed to interrupt? You never made a statement about bloated salaries.
Okay.
I reported that allegations were made. Allegations, reports. I did not say I believe them. I know there's one side of the story, there's the other side of the story, and then there's the truth. That's a motto I've lived by for years. please do not attribute those allegations to me. I reported that they existed and that people are angry. Both are true. I also said that the hospital is in a difficult financial situation, in large part because of what you just talked about, the fact that you have charitable cases that you cannot charge. And I understand that. But what I am concerned about is the sustainability of this hospital. And if you look at the financial statements, I questioned, maybe it was reporters, where is the funding? What it meant was, where is the money coming from? Is it existing reserves, cash balances, debt financing?
It's existing reserves. Absolutely.
Yeah, and cash balances have gone down substantially in 2011. I haven't seen 2012. I would love to see it, when it's available. We probably are still working on it. But I just want to make the point that all I'm urging is transparency. When there's a combination of an institution that is critical to this community. Okay, it influences a large part of our economic development, attracting retired people here. Okay, you've also got people who are making very specific, I don't know to what extent they're true or not, but very specific allegations, okay? And I'm just urging transparency on your part. I think it's important, and I think it's of concern to the citizens of Trinidad. I never made those allegations. I said that I've heard them, and people come into my stores every single day, and I have to stand there and listen to it. And I can't sort it out, but I'm just urging transparency. And I'm glad you're here tonight. I'm glad maybe some of my comments provoked some of that, but I'll repeat again, there's nothing could be more important to me. I did not say once that I believe those allegations, but I think allegations that are made in a public forum need to be responded to.
And we agree with you 100% on transparency. 7 years ago, under similar allegations, this board opened up all of its meetings to the public. They are 100% public. Now, bear in mind, we are a private nonprofit. We are not a public entity. We opened up our meetings for that sole reason. 5 years ago, we came to City Council and offered an appointed position to City Council as a representative. In the 5 years, City Council, all City Councils, I'm not addressing this specific one, haven't asked your representative one question, have not asked your representative to come in front of them and address any issues. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've approached current mayors, previous mayors, the past 4 city managers that you've had in the last year alone, about, let us know. What questions do you have? If you know me, I am passionate about healthcare. I will come and talk till I'm blue in the face any day you want on any subject when it resorts to healthcare. All we need to know is what you need us to talk about, what questions you have.
Sustainability.
5 weeks ago, we held a public meeting that you were all notified about. We specifically invited each and every one of you, as well as each and every county commissioner. One person showed up. One person. And it was specifically addressed to address sustainability, our model. The model is broken. There are more and more federal mandates coming down that say we have to provide more and more charity care and things of that nature. And that's fine, we understand that. But when you put that on top of a local economic cycle, where we are today, that Pioneer announced another, 62 layoffs today. Every week we see in the paper that another business is closing or another business is struggling and having to do away with benefits, insurance and things like that. That's why over the past 5 years our charity care cases have gone up 87%. That is why this model is unsustainable. Local economic cycles are dictating that, are putting us in a very difficult position. It's as simple as that.
I understand that, and I know that you're looking for support and taxpayer support. And I'm saying the taxpayers aren't happy. All I'm doing is reporting it to you. I'm not saying I'm not happy. I'm not making any of these allegations. Maybe, Jenny Benson is making these allegations. I know there are elements of disgruntled employees in every situation. All I'm saying is I'm reporting what the citizens are feeling. And all I said at the city planning retreat is it would be difficult to raise taxes when there's so much suspicion going on in this community. And there are other allegations beyond finances. And
We value your input, and that's why we're here. Let us know what we need to do. Well, if you have a question, ask it.
it was an
We will answer.
invitation to respond to the allegations. And I'm not putting you're putting me on the hot seat here. I'm not putting you on the hot seat, and I didn't at that retreat. All I said was I responded to a question about raising taxes, and I said it's going to be difficult given public suspicion and sentiment here. Okay? And all I'm saying is let's fix it. If there's a good answer here, if there's a good explanation, if there's a good plan, let's do it.
Right, absolutely. We'll come forward with a plan. I mean, there's a real simple plan. We are a nonprofit. You all give out money to nonprofits every year. We've never asked, you've never given us anything. We're operating at a deficit. Should we sit down and have a discussion?
Mr. Gabrielson, you're asking for money from the taxpayers. All I said is maybe some of the suspicion should be addressed. Otherwise, that will make it a lot easier to get taxpayer support.
What suspicions? How do you want us to address them?
Well, if there's I got a packet, I think it's public information.
Okay,
I'm not saying I believe any
I'm
of
gonna
this.
have to interrupt this. We're getting off the subject here. We go ahead with, I understand
I
your
just want to
point.
make one final statement. I'm not an enemy of the hospital. I'm just urging non-silence on some of the things that were said before city council. We're elected representatives.
May I make a suggestion? Can you sign up for a work session and come in and bring us some information? And also, you made the statement that we have you said a council member on the board or someone from the city?
No, that was appointed.
Appointed
Which
by
is,
council?
it was Mr. Beckel.
Vic Beckel,
Yes.
5 years ago, was appointed by.
Yes.
Okay,
City council?
that was before I got on council, so I did not know about that. Does Mr. Beckel report back to us? Have you ever come back and gave us a report, Mr. Beckel?
The council has never ever asked me to come back.
If we appoint you, wouldn't you think that you should come back and check with us and give us some information? I mean,
At that
that's only
time,
logical.
at that time, when we had council, they thought we were doing a good job. We had a period of turmoil. We've taken care of that. And basically, there was never anything to really report other than the fact that we were trying to provide the best services that we possibly could in the way of health care to our community.
I think if you're appointed by the council, then you should report back to us, because that's what we have you there for. Whether it's good or bad information, I mean, it's important, and that's how communications gets lost. So we would like to have you come before council and give us some information along with Mr. Gableson. If you would do that, come back to a work session when we have some time. And we, like I say, we're not against a hospital or anything. In fact, great. To me, I've never had any problem. I thought it's been a great place. Every time I've had to use it, my wife. We're just trying, like Ms. Miles says, people have come to us. We don't know the facts, so if you come and give us the facts, then we can sort them out. And that way, and as far as the paper, they print what they want. We can't do any choice of that. And they took that from the people that came here, not from the council. So there's no one on this council that's against the hospital, trust me. And if we had the money, I guarantee you we'd take care of it, because it is important to have a good hospital.
We appreciate that. I am addressing specific comments made by council, at these meetings. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not addressing the comments that were made in the press or anything else.
Okay.
And I agree, and I'm going to tell you, the Times Independent had an accurate characterization of my comments. But I also, if you read my statement, their characterization more carefully, you'll realize those accusations didn't come from me. I at no time said I believe them. I just said that it was an issue basically implying there's an issue for the hospital to deal with if taxes are going to be discussed to be raised.
I have one question, Mr.
Ma'am.
Gabrielson.
Yes, ma'am.
The appointment by city council of Mr. Beckel, was that an open-ended appointment with no term limit?
Yes.
No. All of our board members are term limited. Every 4 years, they come off for a maximum of 8 years. So after 8 years maximum, that position would be vacated. And then we come back to you. And what we do, the agreement at the time was that you all appoint or suggest 2 names, and we choose one of the 2 names. We're going through that same process with the county commissioners right now. I don't recall the circumstances, but their appointee resigned from the board a few years ago, actually to take a political appointment, approximately a year ago.
So you're saying there's another 3 years on Mr. Becko's term? If he was appointed 5 years
What?
ago,
Was it 1 year?
1 year, I got 1 year.
1 year.
1 year left?
Looks pretty happy at that. How long have you been on the board, Mr. Becko?
Well, 7 years.
7 years?
7 years. Your math is much better than mine.
Carl, I just have to disagree with you on one other thing. You said that the hospital never came to the city for any assistance. In 2000, when I was on city council, I believe the hospital board came to council and asked for assistance in paying some of the utilities. And if my memory serves me right, we couldn't get involved with that because it was some kind of the county owned and stuff like that. That's where the city couldn't really get involved with that. So what you said about the city not trying to get involved, that was a false statement, because in 2000, I remember, when I was first on council.
Did you give them any tax money?
We couldn't because there was some kind of tariffing there, see. But to every problem, there's a solution, Carl. And I think on every board, I don't care whether it's the park and rec, I don't care if it's whatever kind of boards we have, every problem has a solution. And if some people have to give, some people have to give. Both sides have to agree on things. And the way that I hear in your voice tonight, it seems like you got how am I going to say, a little bit of grievance toward this council and towards the city, the way you presented yourself about speaking with us. I could hear it in your voice. I know you very good as a man and a gentleman and a friend. And I know when you're a calm down person, and I know when you're riled up a little bit. And tonight I hear it in your voice where you got that push where, I can see where you're coming from, don't get me wrong. But we need our hospital. The only thing I'm saying is that for every problem there's a solution. And we have to bend, all of us, all the entities in this city, whether it's the county commissioners, whether it's the city or whether it's the hospital board, we have to all come together instead of acting like a bunch of little guys and little kids that want to fight. They want to, well, if it doesn't go your way, you get mad. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to carry it on, but to me, the way you addressed yourself tonight kind of bothered me.
And quite frankly, the actions of council lately have bothered me. I am riled up. We've got a fantastic hospital board here that's been working a tremendous amount of hours to try to help this out. And it seems like every single time there's a disgruntled employee or something else, we take it in the shorts. What are we supposed to do? I have come to this council and into the mayor and to the city managers time and time again and said, if you have any issues, if you have any questions, we'll happily come to public meetings. We'll talk about whatever it is you want.
Mr. Gabrielson, I made those comments. I've been a member of city council for 3 months. I'm concerned about the hospital and its importance to this community, and I think you're reading more into my comments than is there. But the mood of this town as regards the hospital needs to be, get your story out. That's all I'm saying, okay? And maybe you haven't felt the need, but this certainly prompted it, what happened at the last open city council meeting. I'm just saying, respond to the citizens, respond to what's been said to taxpayers.
That's what we're trying to do.
Good, that's all we need to do. We're opening up a dialogue, and you'll address the concerns that were raised, and check them off, But that's what's going to help you with the taxpayers, and that's all I was saying, okay?
Over the years that I've been on the council, you had representatives or manager from the hospital and that come once a year or sometimes several times and give us a report. And that hasn't happened in the last couple of years. Is there a problem there? And that was a good deal. We thought that was, you know, they came in and gave a statement, Mr. Robinson, and told us what was going on at the hospital. So if that's a possibility, maybe we can work something out on that.
Sir, over the last 3 months, no less than 8 times I have asked to do specifically that. If you want us to do that, we'd be happy to do that at any time.
What we're asking.
I think it's time to open that dialogue.
That's fine.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and no problem. We, like I say, we want to work together. And like I say, we'd like to have you back when we have more time. And you owe me about 8 minutes, so. If you don't have anything else that's real urgent or important, I'd like to move on because I have another speaker, Mr. Kerr. Is there a problem there?
Nope.
I mean, do
Not at
you
all.
have anything else? I mean, we're willing to listen if you have anything else that's real important.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank
Really appreciate that, cleaning it up. Mr. Kerr?
Carnage.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I think that most of you in this room know who I am. And you know my passion for this community. I have 3 passions. My passion are faith, my passion is education, and my passion is healthcare. Now, these 3 passions drive everything I do. And I believe in transparency. I believe in openness. Several of you have been in my home. Linda, you'll remember when I first moved here in 2007, because of my passion for healthcare, I went to work to help establish a healthcare district. I believed that the community needed to come together to work with those that need help. And we on the scale of health conditions, Huerfano County and Los Animas County are way down here. And there's a lot of room for improvement in this community. We created that healthcare district with the help of $10,000 that the hospital gave to the effort to gather information and to build consensus amongst the community to create a healthcare district. Now, the healthcare district was supposed to provide much-needed healthcare services to this community. We went to a ballot. Linda, you were elected to that committee.
Yes, I was.
And a lot of people worked hard. But the downside was, because of Tabor, when you go to create a new district, you have to separate the creation of the district from the funding of the district. And everybody said, yeah, for sure. You did a needs assessment. You showed us that we need this. We do need better health care. But the voters voted it down. Many in this room will remember that. Tom, you were there.
I remember.
Yeah, you remember, Carol. Linda, I came to this council,
Yes, you
and
did.
you guys passed a resolution supporting the establishment of a healthcare district. We're in the same place today where we were in 2007 and 2008 when we were doing that effort. A needs assessment that was just done at the expense and concern of Bob Quist and this hospital group showed that a lot of the problems that we had then are still problems today. We have a difficult time keeping physicians here. Well, so does Huerfano County and Terrell County and so many other rural counties, because right now the demand, because of the baby boomer generation for health care, is actually exceeding the supply of practitioners. And, you know, the numbers are not getting any better either. We need to create more practitioners, because what's happening is headhunters now are buying and selling doctors like stockbrokers are buying and selling stocks. And it's all to the highest bidder. A person will come here, they'll fulfill their contract, they go someplace else. Let me just say that healthcare, education, law enforcement, parks and recreation, schools, I mean, all these things are the pillars of economic development. I am a proponent of that. Since I did not get on the healthcare district board, and it's still out there, by the way, and it might be a vehicle that you would want to look at in terms of channeling money to the hospital and the services it provides. But I will have served 4 years on the hospital board as of this April. because of demands of the school district, and you know that I won't shy away from an opportunity to try to make a change in spite of how difficult the challenge will be. Because of the demands of the school district, I'm not sure that I'll be able to continue to do both. School district has had difficulty with funding. Mr. Tranter can attest to that. And still, the school district is struggling. We're maintaining operations within our budget though this year. And if I have anything to say about it, we'll continue to do that. But we need to come together. We need to work together. We need to have a positive dialogue, and we need to work together. We can't just chop each other down. I mean, heavens no, you know, how many of you are involved in the roundtable? You know, I've been there, and a lot of you have been there. It's important that we come together and build each other up. I'll confess, I've been chewed out by 2 mayors when I have been involved in decisions that have been difficult for the hospital. And one of the mayors, and Anthony, you said a few words to me too. One of the mayors, though, all I could say to him after taking the lashing that I took was, Mayor, I know that there have been times that you have been called to make difficult decisions. And a lot of times people didn't understand those decisions. But you knew in your heart of hearts the decision you made was the right decision, and it was the only decision you could have made. I turned to him and I said, I challenge you. I know that if you were walking in my moccasins, you would have made the same decision. And I challenge you, before you pass judgment, and I'm not criticizing anybody or even trying to respond to any allegations. All I'm saying is that keep in mind the kinds of things that you have to channel and make decisions about. I'll assure you that in my best understanding, the decisions that have been spoken about recently that have upset some people were management decisions that were made in an informed way, and it was a decision of the decision makers that was the best thing to do given all the circumstances. Sometimes that's all you can say. But I ask you to be open to a positive dialogue, to give us the opportunity to work together to build this community up, and to not tear each other down. I respect all of you, and I've watched you through the years. I'm new here still, but I'm trying to make a difference. And every opportunity that I have to do that, I'll take it. And if it's a challenge, it doesn't bother me, because I've had many challenges. And actually, sometimes the tougher the challenge, the more I'm ready to stand up to it. So thank you for listening. And I
If I can
appreciate
make one comment, I can speak for myself, and I think I can speak for city council. Nobody is taking sides, nobody's doing a pitch
I
battle,
heard you.
but there are people in the community that are, and it's an-
I understand that.
okay?
And I know they're all your constituents, and you have to listen to them all. But I believe, in my heart of hearts, that the decision that was made, or that some of the decisions that were made, are things that had to be done, given the circumstances. And clearly, the bottom line is driving a lot of decisions in the city of the state. Thank you.
I sympathize with you in the difficulty of explaining the decisions. We've taken criticism as well.
I'm sure you have. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Mr. Shute, can I have 2 minutes?
Absolutely, you can come up.
Thank you. I wasn't going to speak tonight. I'll keep this very brief. My name is Mike Tranter, and I'm the newest member of the hospital board, and I find myself in the precarious position of being the newly appointed secretary-treasurer of the board. So, I don't know, finance issues seem to follow me around. But anyway, I did have a personal agenda for joining the board, and that was really a payback for the services that this hospital offered my father in the last 7 months of his life when he came to live with me in Albuquerque. And I can't tell you the amount of respect I developed for the doctors, for the nurses, for the administrators in our hospital as my dad was shuffled back and forth between Parkview and he had 2 different extended stays
here at Mount St. Raphael, but have a tremendous amount of respect for what was done. Also, in my own personal situation, I've received kind of life-saving care from them and major advice on making lifestyle changes in my own personal situation. But enough said on that. The only thing that I would encourage the city council, and I'm going to make this comment more to the community and not as much as city council, is that we entertain an open dialogue and a constructive dialogue. We need to have that. Do I think the hospital is good? I think it's very good. But can it be improved? Certainly it can be improved. But the one thing that I don't want to see happen, that this community we really need to shake ourselves free from, is types of comments that would encourage people to go outside of the community for their health care. We need to all work together to make this hospital as good a hospital as I can. And I can tell you, I'm still learning about the hospital operations. I'm still learning about the hospital finances. Our CEO, the current CEO that we have in place, Mr. Quist, is making very, very difficult decisions that need to be made, that are directly tied to the sustainability of this hospital. And yes, we cannot, as individual board members, go into a lot of detail on a lot of those decisions, but we unanimously support his actions and what he's doing. And he's coming under a lot of fire recently, and I think a lot of that is misdirected and misplaced. And we need, as a board and as a hospital, we probably need to get that word out a little more proactively. So thank you.
Thank you.
We really appreciate all of you coming, and what you have to realize is that everybody gets a chance to speak, and we don't let them speak. We let them speak and speak their piece. So most of the information that comes from the public, not us. We need you to understand that this council is for the hospital. We think we need it, and that's one of our issues, to try to make this community a better community. And I think you guys on the board out there, just relax a little bit. This is not a hostile climate here. We're with you 100%, and we just want to get some dialogue and some information from you as we got from the community. And we want you to understand that. We'll be glad to do whatever we can, and I'm sure you guys are doing the best you can. As you know, we've had some tough times on this council, and so we know how tough it is. And decisions couldn't be any harder than the ones we had to make over the last few years here. So we appreciate you coming, and I do want to thank you, and I hope you, Mr. Gabriel, you're not upset that I cut you off a little bit, but we try to keep it down, and we've had that experience where it gets carried away. So we want you to feel comfortable to come anytime you want, and we would like you to set up a meeting with us, and we'd like to discuss this more and see what we can do to help you, and if there's anything you can do to help us. We're all in the community together, and the best information we can get is factual, and we appreciate you coming. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay, on our other agenda, we have a report from our city manager. Louis, it's your turn. Let's see what you got for us.
I have nothing to report other than an update on the upcoming governor's cabinet meeting, and I would defer to Tara to give that report.
Good evening, Mayor Chu and council members. How are you doing? Good. We received word this morning about the governor's cabinet visit. We were chosen. So we will be receiving the governor's cabinet this June. If you can all please mark your calendars for June 10th through June 12th. We don't yet know what our specific time frame will be. We will be sharing the cabinet with Lamar and Salida. So we will work with Action 22 to firm up that visit. We have requested to have one of the overnights. So as soon as we get the agenda firmed up, we will let you know. Of course, since the city sponsored the application for the community, we hope as many council members will attend and have dialogue on a lot of issues that the Governor's Council will be bringing forward. Any questions?
No, this is great, John.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Mr. Downs, do you have anything anything to comment on?
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, council members. I do not. I have a number of things to comment on later on the agenda, so I'll save any remarks I have for later on, but I don't have a report per se. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Agenda item number 5, the committee report. I don't think we have any committee reports tonight. We'll go to number 6, unfinished business. Do we have any? I don't think that's none. Okay, and then to number 7, miscellaneous business. A, we have a 3-2 beer license off-premise renewal request by Walmart Stores Incorporated, DBA, Walmart number 962 at 2921 Total Drive. Just as a question, on all the other places that come in for liquor stores, they have a representative. Is it, is he here?
I don't know if he is or not. I asked him specifically, but he didn't see me.
So there, Mr. Downs,
We gotta,
do we just vote on that? Because there were
I think
issues
we
brought,
table it.
yeah, there were issues brought up about that, and that's why we wanted to.
I understand, and I know that is a course that council has, and that is what is insisted upon, and what is good for one is good for all. So, absolutely, and I think that, Ms. Garrett contacted the person, so we can do that again and let them know that they're not going to have a renewal.
Unless they do.
That's right, unless they do what they have to do.
Okay, so I entertain a motion that we table this.
I move that we table this until our next regular meeting.
second?
Roll call?
Bolton?
Yes.
Benado?
Yes.
Matei?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Velasquez?
Yes.
Shu?
Yes. Miscellaneous B, tasting permit renewal request by Opera House Wine Spirits LLC, DBA Tire Shop Wine and Spirit at 601 West Main Street. Is Miss Michelle?
Hello?
You want me to go to the
No,
mic?
yeah, you're fine. If everything is fine and no questions, do you have anything to say about it?
No, the tastings are popular and
Okay,
going well.
great. I'd entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Bolton?
Yes.
Benado?
Yes.
Matei?
Yes.
Miles?
Present?
Abstain?
Abstain.
Velasquez?
Yes.
Shu?
Yes. And then we have item C, a miscellaneous business, a special events permit requested by Trinidad State Junior College Education Foundation, Scott Gymnasium, 600 Prospect, for March 9th, 2013. I don't see anyone from Trinidad State Junior College. Usually this is, the Angeles is
I
here.
work for Trinidad State.
That's why. We'll go with that. Is this a fundraising for the foundation normally like they usually have?
It is, yes, sir, their annual fundraiser.
Okay, no problem. I don't see anything in the issues to go over.
I
I'll
move for
entertain the
approval
motion.
of the special event permitted by TSJC for March 9th.
I'll second that.
Roll call?
Bolton?
Yes.
Benado?
Yes.
Matei?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Velasquez?
Yes.
Shu?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Miscellaneous D, retail liquor store license renewal request by Louis A. Lopez II, DBA Santa Fe Trail Hops and Wine at 1530 Santa Fe Trails and Drive. I see Mr. Lopez back there. Can you walk up here?
Yeah.
At least get some exercise.
Dinner.
Do you have any questions to ask us?
No.
Any specials this week that we can talk about?
Everything's on sale.
Okay, sounds good.
That's what we like
I'll
to hear.
entertain a motion that we renew.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Bolton?
Yes.
Benado?
Yes.
Matei?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Velasquez?
Yes.
Shu?
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Miscellaneous E, consent and confirmation of the city manager Akers designation as the acting city manager, and you're already there, so
Yeah.
what's the Do we need to vote on this as a, or is that just to accept it from him?
You know,
Do we need to vote on
You
it?
should go ahead and confirm his
Okay,
recommendation.
that's fine.
I'd move for confirmation of designation as Louis Feinberg and Audra Garrett as acting city manager.
Do either of you have any comments?
Yeah.
Speak now or forever.
That's all right, that's all right.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call?
Bolton?
Yes.
Benado?
Yes.
Matei?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Velasquez?
Yes.
Shu?
Yes. Miscellaneous business F, authorize mayor execution of a letter of support for Fun is Fishing grant application by the city of Trinidad. Do we have someone to speak on that?
Yes, if you don't mind, if I could just speak from here.
Yes, that's fine.
This item was not on the workshop, work session agenda rather, due to the timing of the grant. But the city will be applying for approximately $90,000 in funding to be matched by up to $30,000 by the city to extend the work that's already been done by Trout Unlimited to the area that's proximate to the Boulevard addition, which we are now in the process of acquiring. The grant, as it stands right now, is going to be tough to get because the higher levels of Division of Wildlife have indicated that until the Purgatory River gets permanent flows that can sustain a trout hatchery on an ongoing basis, that they wouldn't be interested in funding it. Local DOW agents have indicated that they support the project, so we were going to go ahead and apply anyway.
Okay.
If we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't.
Louis, is there any, and I'm just asking, is there any plans for future to have the Purgatory River run on full-time, or is there anything that we can do to work on something in that area?
There are some proposals to allow for enough of a flow to sustain a fish population. Perhaps Mr. Muslin can speak to that issue. He's more aware of the technical aspects of this project than I am.
Over here and introduce yourself, and then that way we can.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. My name is Jim Muslin. I'm the president of Trout Unlimited here, chapter in Trinidad, Colorado. I think everybody pretty much knows me. It's true. The water flow would be probably very minimal during the wintertime. We're looking at, and I don't have the exact figures, but I'm trying to set up a meeting with you for a discussion on another reach that we're going to try to do a river improvement project, the third phase, and I'm hoping to do that in a work session within the next couple of weeks. Because if this fall, if this goes through, and right now we have our permits, everything in order for that reach. We're hoping to have that started and completed in March. So I'll bring that information as far as how much water is required to sustain a fishery through Trinidad. And it really isn't a lot. It's, Joy, do you remember what the flow numbers were?
I think it was
120 acre feet.
125 acre feet
For 3 months.
for one season.
Approximately 30 acre feet per month. Was that your
Yeah,
figure?
that sounds right.
Probably 5 CFS flow on a regular basis.
Maybe I wasn't paying adequate attention, but does the current water flow substantiate the grant application? Is it worth the effort to do that?
Well, the city's position, staff's position, and the position of local DOW agents is that if this is successful for the summer months, and we are restocking at the beginning of every fishing season, that it really shouldn't matter that much that we can't sustain a trout population year-round. If we can, great. But it's also good, and given what I've seen over the summer, it was a very successful project. There were a lot of people down by the river fishing and using the improvements, swimming, doing more than just fishing.
More than just fishing. I think that's the key right there.
It was very
The
successful.
improvements, yeah, the improvements are very much so.
If we're not awarded this grant this time around, I would like to put, in conjunction with Trout Unlimited, put in place a method of tracking how many people use this facility. Because I think we can demonstrate that it is a very successful project. It's just a question of how we go about proving that.
To me, it seems like a division for Parks and Recreation, they're on a slow train with this project because they want to see whether or not, they don't want to see a lot of fish dying in the river. And I think and I can understand that. So they've come forward and they've agreed to do a fish survey. So they'll shock the waters here in the first part of March and see what our population of fish are in the river currently, and then make an assessment from at the end of the winter flow before we start the summer flows.
It sounds like a progressive endeavor, and it's something that we need to do. My next question is more toward the financing of it, and you were very successful in receiving the grants that you applied for. And with each grant comes a certain amount of match from the city. Do we have the up to $30,000 to match, should you again be successful?
This would be a 2014 project.
Okay, so
Nothing is budgeted this year, but if we did commit to this and get the grant, we would have to take money out of capital.
Okay. And then the final is not a question, more a comment, but former Commissioner Jim Hill now sits on the Parks and Wildlife Board, for whatever benefit that may be.
And I might note that the information provided to council reflects that the local Trout Unlimited chapter is willing to make a $6,900 in-kind contribution towards the city's up to $30,000 match.
And let me just step back a moment, and the reason why we're asking for up to $30,000 is that there are several other possible sources for funding here. A worst case scenario would be none of them pan out, and the city would step up and with a $30,000 match. But we are likely to get some of that, so it's going to be somewhere south of $30,000 that the city would be committing, should be getting.
Well, I think your grant application, your efforts in Charlotte are to be applauded, and it's certainly beneficial to our community for the things that we're trying to do to make it a better place to live in, and hopefully a destination location for folks who want to do that kind of stuff. We need to, like every board, be concerned with the parameters of reality, and it seems to be working. Just so we're all mindful. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you. Miscellaneous Business.
Do we need a motion for approval?
Yeah, I was gonna, yeah. Okay.
I move for approval of authorization of the mayor's execution of letter of support.
Second.
Roll call?
Bolton?
Yes.
Benado?
Yes.
Matei?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Velasquez?
Yes.
Shu?
Yes. G, we need another authorization for the mayor to execute a letter of support for the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment Recycling Resources Economical Opportunity Fund Granting Program application. Louis?
Sure. At this point, the city is not applying for this application to get funds to set up a recycling program. The question is whether to support application on behalf of a private entity that would like to set up a program for the community. They're in the audience tonight, if you'd like to have questions for them. We have been discussing the application, the merits of the application, and at this point, staff feels that there are some issues with the application and whether or not it can be successful. I would like to request that the council agree to provide a letter of support contingent upon a satisfactory application being put together. Like I said, there are still some outstanding issues. If you would like to get into the specifics of that, I would be happy to.
Suffice it to say that issues exist. Are you okay with that kind of decision, Kelly?
Yes, I am.
I don't mean to ignore your husband.
Yes,
but I don't know his name. Provided that you can resolve whatever issues Mr. Feynman is speaking of, is that something you're agreeable to?
For the record, I'm Kelly Garnier.
Jeremy Gunner.
Thank
Good
you,
to meet
council,
you,
for
Jerry.
listening to us tonight. Yes, we're okay with
Okay.
And then
I
we
would
get-
also just like to applaud your effort in
Well,
trying to get this application
It is.
together.
it's almost un-American to not support recycling. I mean, it's what we do, it's a way of the future. I thought computers were like bell bottoms, they weren't gonna be around long, and here they are.
that. Well, Mr. Feinberg has been a tremendous support and help, and we appreciate that. he's really taken the time to lead us in the right direction, and he's given us his attention, and we're thankful and grateful for that. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Speaking to this.
Yet another example of everybody working together for the common good. Thank you.
Do you have any questions?
Good luck in your endeavors.
Yes, good luck.
Thank you.
Hope to see you back when we get it all done.
Thank you, guys.
I'll work on it. Thanks.
Thank you.
I'd move for authorization of the mayor's execution of a letter of support.
Second.
Roll call?
Walton,
Yes?
Benado,
Yes.
Matei,
Yes.
Miles,
Yes.
Velasquez.
Yes.
Shu.
Yes. Okay, in consideration of a proposed date of active suspension to be served by Mantelli's partnership, DEA Mantelli's at 157 West Main Street. This is on the liquor violation.
It is indeed.
Do you have anything for us on this?
Well, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem and council members, I want to say that I basically left it up to Mr. Revelis as the attorney for Mantelli's, for Pat Mantelli, the person on the liquor license. And in so doing, I just said you have to have 5 days, 5 24-hour periods consecutive where Mantelli's is going to be closed as a punitive sanction for what happened and what, essentially you've admitted to, you have to do that. Well, Mr. Revelis came back, and at one point in our conversation, he wanted to break it up. He didn't want to have the days consecutive. I said, no, please understand, I'm very clear on what council wants, on this point at least, and that is 5 days consecutive. Anyway, he proposed those days. And I understand that February 24th is a Sunday, and that would go through the 28th, that is 5 days. And a lot of people who are bar owners would think, and I have not had this conversation with Mr. Revelis, certainly not with Mr. Revelis' clients, since I can't talk to anyone who's represented by counsel about their matter pending. But I don't think that there is really, for that kind of bar, a time that is necessarily better or worse than any other time. It seems to me that that kind of demographic, and I say that with all due respect, the people that frequent Mantelli's usually are there primarily during the week and during the day. And so it's one weekend day, 4 weekdays. I think that's kind of prime time. The reason I'm saying this is because I did hear from one councilman, one council person that said, well, maybe they ought to be closed over a weekend, make it hurt a little more. Most bars would be hurt more if they had to be closed over a weekend. I'm sorry, I should have begun by saying that. And I said, well, possibly, but Mantelli's is not really that kind of bar. That is, it doesn't necessarily have more flow or more clientele on weekends than during the week. So I agreed to those days. They were proposed by Mr. Revelis, but I'm sure if council has strong feelings contrary, I could get different days. Sorry that took a long time for me to explain.
Any comments? No?
She's saying the 24th.
I have no problem with proposed days.
I know. Anthony?
I'm okay with it.
Okay, we'll go ahead and take care of that then. Okay? Agenda item number 8, the bills. Oh, do we need a motion for that? Because
Which is to accept the dates.
oh, okay, that'll be fine.
I move for acceptance of the dates for active suspension for Mantelli's partnership to be February 24th through 28th, 2013.
I'll second that.
Okay. Roll call?
Walton,
Yes.
Benado,
Yes.
Matei,
Yes.
Miles,
Yes.
Velasquez.
Yes.
Shu.
Yes. Okay. The bills, is there any questions on any of the bills? Yes.
Mr. Chair, I just have one question. Let's see, check number 42341 on page 8 to AutoZone. As I look down there, I see S&B number 7, a radiator, and then I see S&B number 7, a radiator again, both for an actual cost of $126.29. And my question is, why do we need 2 radiators on the same vehicle? But there's something there that doesn't make sense. We have, it says radiator on the same vehicle, street and bridge number 7, and a radiator, street and bridge number 7, identical price of $126.29.
I would need to look into that matter, but I can make sure you get that information.
That's the only question I have, because
So it appears it's a duplicate?
like a duplicate copy or a duplicate building or a Lewis.
Good eye.
That's the only question I have, Mr.
Okay. Any other questions? No? Okay, take a motion that we pay the bills.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Bolton?
Yes.
Benado?
Yes.
Matei?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Velazquez?
Yes.
Shu.
Yes. And item number 9 is payroll for February 2nd to February 15th. Any questions on payroll? We can take a motion to pay the employees.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Bolton?
Yes.
Benado?
Yes.
Matei?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Velazquez?
Yes.
Shu.
Yes. And the last item is adjournment, unless we have any questions from anybody. Seeing none, call for a motion. Okay, second? Okay. Roll call?
Bolton?
Yes.
Benado?
Yes.
Matei?
Yes.
Miles? Velazquez?
Yes.
Shu.
Yes. Okay, thank you for coming.
Well done, Mayor. Well done.
Well, good.
Sure shit.
And I have things for you to sign.
Sorry. Mr. Sears. How are you, sir?
Yeah. Smells like bacon.
Thanks a lot for coming.
I just heard about it recently. Good to know.
Invested in. But it was investing. Some federal.
No, I just know about the hospital for the county board story. What happened to all their
Add to it. No, I think the argument we just need to kind of hammer home here is that the river doesn't need to move around for us to be a successful project. Like I said, there's 2 birds down there. We're doing this for
I hate Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm the most
Definitely.
No, I don't know. That's a good question.
Yes, sure. Absolutely. I don't have